Before we begin, we want to thank our members, subscribers, and supporters. Without you, none of this is possible. Make sure you watch the entire video for announcements and more. Hit the super thanks. And now, on to the reading. Nezahualcoyotl, 1402 to 1472. Texcoco's warrior poet, philosopher, and king. He makes the eagles and ocelots dance with him. He makes the eagles and ocelots dance with him. Come to see the Huechocinca. On the days of the eagle he shouts. Loudly cries the Mexica. The battlefield is the place where one toasts the divine liquor in war, where are stained red the divine eagles, where the tigers howl, where all kinds of precious stones rain from ornaments, where wave headdresses rich with fine plumes, where princes are smashed to bits. There is nothing like death in war, nothing like the flowery death, so precious to him who gives life. Far off I see it. My heart yearns for it. And they call it Teotihuacan, because it was the place where the lords were buried. Thus they said, when we die, truly we die not, because we will live, we will rise, we will continue living, we will awaken. This will make us happy. Thus the dead one was directed. When he died, awaken. Already the sky is rosy. Already dawn has come. Already sing the flame-colored guans, the fire-colored swallows. Already the butterflies fly. Thus the old ones said that who has died has become a god. They said, he has been made a god there, meaning he has died. Even jade is shattered, even gold is crushed, even Quetzalcoatl are torn. One does not live forever on this earth. We endure only for an instant. Will flowers be carried to the kingdom of death? Is it true we are going? We are going. Where are we going? Where are we going? Will we be dead there? Or will we live yet? Does one exist again? Perhaps we will live a second time. Thy heart knows. Just once do we live, like a Quetzalcoatl, a fragrant flower. Friendship sparkles, like heron plumes, it weaves itself into finery. Our heart is a bird calling out like a jingle. How beautiful you make it sound. Here, among flowers that enclose us, among flowery boughs, you are singing. The earth is a grave and nothing escapes it. Nothing is so perfect that it does not descend into its tomb. Rivers, rivulets, fountains, and waters flow, but never return to their joyful beginnings. Anxiously, they hasten on the vast realms of the rain god. As they widen their banks, they also fashion the sad urn of their burial. Filled are the bowels of the earth with pestilential dust, once flesh and bone. once animate bodies of man, who sat upon thrones, decided cases, presided in council, commanded armies, conquered provinces, possessed treasure, destroyed temples, exalted in their pride, majesty, fortune, praise, and power. Vanished are these glories, just as the fearful smoke vanishes that belches forth from the infernal fires of Popocatépetl. Nothing recalls them but the written page. We hope you have enjoyed a poetic reading from Nezahualcoyotl, Texcoco's warrior poet, philosopher, and ruler. He lived from 1402 to 1472. We hope you enjoy this reader series. Please look at our playlist for more recital performances. Please consider becoming a member to support more streams such as this. Being a member of the Latino Slant has its perks, from exclusive content, discount on merchandise, to one-on-ones with creatives. Once again, we at the Latino Slant thank you, and if you feel so inclined, hit the super thanks and donate. Remember, wherever you're at, keep your slant and your fight fuerte. Inca Love Poem, as transcribed and documented by the Quechua nobleman Huaman Poma. What evil fortune separates us, Queen? What barriers separate us, Princess? My beautiful one, for you are a Chinchinroma flower, and in my head and in my heart I would carry you. You were like a sparkling water. You were like a mirror of water. Why don't I meet my loved one? Your hypocrite mother causes our unbearable separation. Your contrary father causes our neglected state. Perhaps, Queen, if the great Lord God desires, we will meet again, and God will bring us together. The memory of your laughing eyes makes me sicken. A little, noble Lord, just a little. If you condemn me to weeping, have you no compassion? Weeping rivers over canted lily in every valley. I am waiting for you, my little beauty. I am Joaquin by Rodolfo Corky Gonzales, an epic poem. I am Joaquin. Yo soy Joaquin, perdido en un mundo de confusión. I am Joaquin, lost in a world of confusion, caught up in a world of a gringo society, confused by the rules, scorned by attitudes, suppressed by manipulation, and destroyed by modern society. My fathers have lost the economic battle and won the struggle of cultural survival. And now I must choose between the paradox of victory of the spirit despite physical hunger, or to exist in the grasp of American social neurosis, sterilization of the soul, and a full stomach. Yes, I have come a long way to nowhere, unwillingly dragged by that monstrous technical industrial giant called progress and Anglo success. I look at myself. I watch my brothers. I shed tears of sorrow. I sow seeds of hate. I withdraw to the safety within the circle of life, my own people. I am Cuauhtemoc, proud and noble, leader of men, king of an empire civilized beyond the dreams of the Gauchupin Cortez, who is also the blood, the image of myself. I am the Maya prince. I am Nezahualcoyotl, great leader of the Chichimecas. I am the sword and the flame of Cortez, the despot, and I am the eagle and the serpent of the Aztec civilization. I own the land as far as the eye could see under the crown of Spain, and I toiled on my earth and gave my Indian sweat and blood for the Spanish master who ruled with tyranny over man and beast and all that he could all that he could trample, but the ground was mine. I was both tyrant and slave. As the Christian church took its place in God's name, to take and use my virgin strength and trusting faith, the priests, both good and bad, took but gave a lasting truth that the Spaniard, Indian, mestizo were all God's children. And from these words grew men who prayed and fought with their own worth as human beings for that golden moment of freedom. I was part in blood and in spirit of that courageous village priest Hidalgo, who in that year 1810 rang the bell of independence and gave out that lasting cry, el grito de Dolores, que mueran los cachupines y que viva la Virgen de Guadalupe. I senses him. Who was me? I excommunicated him. My blood. I drove him from the pulpit to lead a bloody revolution for him and me. I killed him. His head, which is mine, and all of those who have come this way, I placed on that fortress wall to wait for independence. Morelos, Matamoros, Guerrero, all compañeros in the act, stood against that wall of infamy to feel the hot gouge of lead which my hands made. I died with them. I lived with them. I lived to see your country free. Free from Spanish rule in 1821. Mexico was free? The crown was gone, but all the parasites remained and ruled and taught with gun and flame and mystic power. I worked, I sweated, I bled, I prayed and waited silently for life to begin again. I fought and died for Benito Juarez, for Don Benito Juarez, guardian of the Constitution. And he was on dusty roads, on barren lands, as he protected his archives, as Moses did his sacraments. He held Mexico in his hand on the most desolate and remote ground, which was his country. And this giant little Zapotec gave not one palm's breadth of his country's land to kings or monarchs or presidents of foreign powers. I am Joaquin. I rode with Pancho Villa, crude and warm, a tornado of full strength, nourished and inspired by the passion and the fire of all his earthly people. I am Emiliano Zapata. This land, this earth is ours. The villages, the mountains of the streams belong to the Zapatistas. Our life for yours is the only trade for soft brown earth and maize, all of which is our reward, a creed that formed a constitution for all who dare live free. This land is ours. A father, I give it back to you. Mexico must be free. I ride with the revolutionist against myself. I am the Rueles, coarse and brutal. I'm the mountain Indian, superior over all. The thundering hoofbeats are my horses, the chattering machine, gun share death to all of me. Yaqui, Tarumara, Chamala, Zapotec, Mestizo, Español. I have been the bloody revolution, the victor, the vanquished. I have killed and been killed. I'm the despots Diaz and Huerta and the apostle of democracy, Francisco Madero. I am the black-shawled, faithful woman who died with me or lived, depending on the time and place. I am the faithful, humble Juan Diego, La Virgen de Guadalupe, Tonantzin, Aztec goddess to all. I rode the mountains of San Joaquin. I rode east and north as far as the Rocky Mountains, and all men feared the guns of Joaquin Murrieta. I killed those men who dared to steal my name, who raped and killed my love, my wife. Then I killed to stay alive. I was el fego vaca, living my 9 lives fully. I was the Espinosa brothers of the Valle de San Luis. We were added to the number of heads that in the name of civilization were placed on the wall of independence, heads of brave men who died for cause or principle, good or bad. Hidalgo, Zapata, Murrieta, Espinosas are but a few. The force of tyranny, of men who rule by deception and hypocrisy. I stand here looking back, and I now see the present. And still, I am a campesino. I am the fat political coyote of the same name, Joaquin, in a country that has wiped out all my history, stifled my pride, in a country that has placed a different weight of indignity upon my age-old burden back. Inferiority is the new load. The Indian has endured and still emerged the winner. The mestizo must yet overcome, and the gauchopin will just ignore. I look at myself. I see part of me who rejects my father, my mother, and dissolves into a melting pot to disappear in shame. I sometimes sell my brother out and reclaim him for my own when society gives me token leadership in society's own name. I am Joaquin, who bleeds in many ways. The altars of Moctezuma I stained a bloody red. My back of Indian slavery was stripped crimson from the whips of masters who would lose their blood so pure when revolution made them pay, standing against the walls of retribution. Blood has flowed from me on every battlefield between campesino, haciendo, slave, and master, and revolution. I jumped from the tower of Chapultepec into the sea of fame. My country's flag, my burial shroud with los niños, whose pride and courage could not surrender with indignity to their country's flag to strangers in their land. Now I bleed in some smelly cell from club or gun or tyranny. I bleed as the vicious gloves of hunger cut my face and eyes as I fight my way from stinking barrios to the glamour of the ring, the lights of fame or mutilated sorrow. My blood runs pure on the ice-caked hills of the Alaskan Isles, on the corpse-strewn beach of Normandy, the foreign land of Korea and now Vietnam. I stand here before the court of justice, guilty for all the glory of my raza to be sentenced to despair. I stand, poor in money, arrogant with pride, bold with machismo, rich in courage and wealthy in spirit and faith. My knees are caked with mud, my hands calloused from hoe. I have the Anglo-rich, yet equality is but a word. The Treaty of Hidalgo has been broken and is but another treacherous promise. The land, my land, is lost and stolen. My culture has been raped. The line at the well-filled door, and fill the jails with crime. These then are the rewards the society has for sons of chiefs and kings and bloody revolutionists who gave a foreign people all the skill and ingenuity to pave the way with brains and blood for those hordes of gold-starved strangers who changed our language and plagiarized our deeds as feats of valor of their own. They frowned upon our way of life and took what they could use, our art, our literature, our music they ignored. So they left the real things of value and grabbed their own destruction by their greed and avarice. They overlooked that cleansing fountain of nature and brotherhood, which is Joaquin, the art of our great señores, Diego Rivera, Siqueiros, Orozco, is but another act of revolution for the salvation of mankind. Mariachi music, the heart and soul of the people of the earth, the life of the children and the happiness of love. The corridos tell the tales of life and death, of tradition, legends old and new, of joy, of passion and sorrow, of the people who I am. I'm the eyes of the woman sheltered beneath her shawl of black, deep and sorrowful eyes that bear pain of sons long buried or dying, dead on the battlefield, or on the barbecue, or on the barbed wire of social strife. Her rosary prays and fingers endlessly, like the family working down a row of beats to turn around and work and work. There is no end. Her eyes, a mirror of all the warmth and all the love from me. I am her, she is me. We face life together in sorrow, anger, joy, faith, and wishful thoughts. I shed the tears of anguish as I see my children disappear behind the shroud of mediocrity, never to look back to remember me. I am Joaquin. I must fight and win this struggle for my sons. They must know from me who I am. Part of the blood that runs deep in me could not be vanquished by the Moors. I defeated them 500 years and I have endured. Part of the blood that is mine has labored endlessly 400 years under the heel of lustful Europeans. I am still here. I have endured in the rugged mountains of our country. I have survived the toils and slavery of the fields. I have existed in the barrios of the city, in the suburbs of bigotry, in the mines of social snobbery, in the prisons of dejection, in the muck of exploitation, and in the fierce heat of racial hatred. And now the trumpet sounds. The music of the people stirs the revolution. Like a sleeping giant slowly rears its head to the sound of trampling feet, clamoring voices, mariachi strains, fiery tequila explosions, the smell of chile verde, and the soft brown eyes of expectation for a better life. And in all the fertile farmlands, the barren plains, the mountain villages, smoke-smeared cities, we start to move. La raza, Mexicano, Espanol, Latino, Chicano, whatever I call myself, I look the same, I feel the same, I cry and sing the same. I am the masses of the people, and I refuse to be absorbed. I am Joaquin. The odds are great, but my spirit is strong, my faith unbreakable, my blood is pure. I am Aztec prince and Christian Christ. I shall endure. I will endure.